They call us the Double Axe Boomerang Gang. Or so Archie the Strong said in one of our last sessions. What up, people? It's been a minute. I've been out here, been traveling, been doing a lot of stuff, and I have not been on my Mad DM journal, so I'm back on it. I got 2 episodes of The Lost Mine and Phandelin to catch up on real quick. It's going to be interesting because my notes are not that copious, so we're going to see how good the old noggin is, and at the same time, I don't want to be doing this all night because I'm tired, but I could talk about D&D forever. So, what I'm going to do is try and recap episode 5 and episode 6, talk about the things that I remember from a DM perspective, just like role-play notes, things that I really liked, enjoyed, things that I was thinking were going to happen and didn't, things I messed up. I never messed stuff up, but if I did, I could point it out in like a third person kind of way. All right, so episode 5 is the first time we enacted our quorum rule. So I put a rule of quorum. We have 5 players in the game, so I made a rule: if 4 are in for a night plus the DM, obviously I got to be there. If 4 are in, we're going. We're going. Somebody's gonna end up being a meat shield. Somebody's gonna end up stuck in a hotel room, not getting any XP. Somebody's gonna end up on some weird side quest, hunting for berries for one of Corian's beer concoctions or some such kind of thing. Let me get close to this microphone. And so basically, what I did in episode 5, like I didn't want to punish our 5th player, who's Hank, the half-orc. I didn't want to punish him. He was out some sick children and families, taking care of them. So I made it a very heavy role play session, and I'm actually trying to give a lot of XP for role play because I appreciate it. I enjoy good role play, and so I'm trying to reward it. I also love good battles and good fights, but I want to reward good role play. So I have a system very similar to the dude from Matt Mercer from Critical Role, where when I hear something that's just really dope for roleplay, I just put a check mark next to a player's name. I'm like, okay, you're gonna get extra XP, and then I use an equation very similar to his for calculating what that check mark equals for each person when I send out the weekly email for XP, which I understand if you're one of my players and you're watching this, I have not sent that out. I owe you 2 weeks worth of XP. You'll be getting that before we play again. Hopefully this weekend. Hopefully this weekend we'll get after it, if not next week for sure. So what we did is we got a lot of development on players' games, and for me, like I have some big ideas for what's going to happen in characters' backstories, but a lot of that I really didn't expect to go down too much in this campaign, as people are just getting to know each other, and it's kind of an on the rails-ish type of campaign with some choices to do some random like side missions and whatnot. However, the way this is playing out, we got really heavy into a lot of different people's backstories. Let me see if I can take a look at my notes here. Oh yes. So looking at Melman's background, so there was a moment where the crew went to the inn in town, the Red Roof. Is it the Red Roof Inn? Yeah, we'll call it that. They went to the inn in Phandelin and had Melman give a roll for perception, and he overheard a dwarf. Actually, what was Marcel, the red-haired dwarf, who's from the City of Light, which is actually where Melman spent about 100 years of his life. And this dwarf's like, hi. He's like, mate, the City of Light's been taken over. We've got a new overruler, and I'm here gathering supplies and trying to find a way to get my family out. And Melman's like getting all the information that he can from this guy, and he really doesn't. I mean, he's like 4 sheets to the wind, so he's just not getting a whole lot out. But he got some cool background, and then what else did we have? We had so Quarian, he had met with Darren. He had met with Darian earlier in the campaign and got some recipes for brewing apple beer, and he had a note waiting for him when he got back to the inn, and Darren happened to be there, and he's just like, yo, hey, I have your name, Kegbeard, it rung some bells, so I started putting some inquiries out, and yeah, I knew your dad, or I know your dad. I knew your dad is what he said, and he said, I have an untapped keg of his winter keg, his winter ale, his famed winter ale. And Quarian actually helped make this batch of winter ale. I don't know if he knows that, but he did. And Darren's like, yeah, if you guys can help clear this town of the RedBrands, like I would love to tap this keg and share it with you guys. And he also shares the story of Ismay. And I'm not going to say who she is because only Quarian knows who Ismay is right now. But tells the story of Ismay and how she is now married to a lad whose name I don't remember. But it makes a lot of sense to Quarian, and it wouldn't make sense to many people watching, because I have millions of viewers. So when I say many, I mean all of the minis. Also, Mr. What else do we have? Oh, the Zentarum. So we had a Bean had a conversation with Leanne and with Halia. I had conversations with both of them. They both are part of the Zentarum, the Black Network. Halia's a bit of a bitch. She's a bit cold and mean, but direct, and as far as Leanne says, can be trusted. Leanne had an interesting encounter with Archie the Strong in episode 5. She went up to the lad's room for a bit of a nightcap, if you know what I mean. And they had a bit of a jaunt. We didn't go into details. That's just not my style. I wasn't gonna be like roll for foreplay. But now that I think about it, might be adding that in. Only other things of note: the band was from the band that was playing at the bar. They're playing like this new what do you call jazz? And they were playing, and they were from Neverwinter. So just a couple of the people from the crew went over and approached Jacques, the lead musician, the lead singer, and asked him what news there was of Neverwinter. And man, I really hope they took better notes than me, because I think he told them of, like, it's Neverwinter. Like, it's always madness. There's always somebody trying to take over something. There's always some new guild all up in somebody's shiznit. There's always talk of dragons and the end of the world. So it was nothing new for him. But but he did mention that there were talks of a mage, a wizard, an archmage, and a tower in the Neverwinter woods. Rumors that he had heard that I don't know who that could be. Could that tie it to the archmage that you guys met in like 2 episodes ago? I don't know. What I will say about episode 5 is it was like 100% roleplay. There was a lot of dice rolls. Die is singular, right? Dice is plural. There were a lot of dice rolls, and I wasn't sure how this crew would take doing an all roleplay session, and I was super impressed. Like, I'm looking at the check marks here. There was some stuff. I don't even know who Quarian said this to, but he replied to somebody, does it have to do with your face? And I wrote it, like, I liked it so much, I wrote it down, and there's probably a check mark or 2 next to it. It's just good. There's just, you guys really, you're bringing it. Like, you're really getting into your characters, and I can't explain how happy that makes me, because I'm trying my best with, I almost feel schizophrenic, like, trying to remember all these characters, and like, Marcel, he's got an Australian-ish accent, because I can only do an Australian-ish accent, which bleeds into English from time to time, or Irish or whatever. But whatever, it's all good, it's fun, it's all good, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So episode 5 was cool. Episode 6, the double axe Boomerang gang. Archie keeps saying it, so I feel like if he keeps saying it, it is going to become canon. It might be canon already. I don't know. But you know what? It's canon. The DM's saying it in a DM journal. So call that canon. Call that canon. Double X Boomerang gang. So the gang decides they're still at the end when we pick up session 6, and the gang decides they're going in the morning to clear out the RedBrands from the Tresendar or Tresendar. I don't know if it's an R or an O. I mean an A or an O right now. I could look it up. I have D&D Beyond open, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it. I ain't going to make dead air on this video more than I got to. You hear me? You hear me, boy? Yeah, it's been a long week. I'm tired. So they decide to go. But before, Archie gets up and gives a rousing speech. And actually, I have photos of it. Like, he actually stands up and gives a speech. And I actually got kind of motivated. I was like, yep, you're getting some XP for that. And then Hank got up and it's like, I want to say a prayer. He's the paladin. So he calls on the goddess of the moon and says a prayer. And as it would so happen, Sister Gariel is there with a couple sisters, a couple priests, and a paladin of luck from the Shrine of Luck. And they all step up and take a knee near Hank. And Hank has a good conversation with them, and he's told to visit them. He's told to visit them the next morning for support, for supplies, and he asked Sir Lance, the Paladin of Luck. I'm Sir Lance. He asked Sir Lance if he would join them in clearing out the RedBrands, and Sir Lance ends up declining. My quest is one of nonviolence and reflection. And what the crew doesn't know, and I don't think they had good enough roles to figure out. Hank tried. He had a pretty good role. He could sense that Sir Lance was being honest and being forthright, and basically Sir Lance is serving time in Phandelin at the Shrine of Luck, paying penance for a mistake he made, or at least a mistake he feels he made. He feels the lives of some are on his hands, so he's paying penance, and he's doing all he can to not pick up a sword. So it was a good ask, but he's not doing it right now. Sister Gariel actually gives a boon, gives a blessing to Hank for when they go in to fight the RedBrands. He doesn't know exactly what the boon is. He just knows he has it. And that'll be cool. Leanne, Archie went and visited Leanne. Leanne was like, told him to visit her in the morning before they headed out, where they went out to the RedBrands, and she gave them some healing potions, some bolts, fire starter, like some stuffs they might need. And again, like really good role play, like all the way from the rousing speech, trying to get the town to rally and support them, to the prayer, to following up with people, just really good stuff. And then next morning, head out to the RedBrand hideout in the manor, and creep in through the back entrance that they were showed by the young lad whose name I don't remember. And no traps. They do search for traps, nothing there. Get into the manor, and currently they were in an antechamber. So in the manor, they found some doors and some stairs that led down into a basement. And in this first room, there's like a tide pool, there's a little bit of water. There's a lot of barrels on either side of the left and right of the room. There's a door. If you're looking straight into the room, off to the right, there's a door. And so they started searching the barrels and had them roll a stealth check for quietly searching the barrels. And they failed that. They alerted some of the RedBrands in the next room, and the RedBrands came in and started attacking. And there was kind of a pile up at the doorway. And Hank ran up, took a little bit of damage, but not too much. Melman ran up and took a little. But they pretty easily dispatched the RedBrands. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to have to nerf my crew because they're actually pretty strong. They're doing very well. I'm going to have to up the HP of the RedBrands possibly, or do something a little different with their attack bonuses. But there's one left, and they, instead of killing him, they decided to incapacitate him. I think they hit him with a bolt through the shoulder and kind of pinned him to the doorway. And so we'll pick up there in episode 7, probably some type of interrogation. Hopefully no other RedBrands are in that room. Nobody had a chance to check that yet, but we're in the manor and we're attempting to clear out the RedBrands. And hopefully, as a reward, if they can actually clear this, they're gonna get the manor. Like that would be real cool. I have some, and if that happens, I got some cool ideas in mind. As far as like what I took from these 2 sessions, like I'm really happy with the role playing that's going on. Not necessarily my own, but like y'all's. Like y'all are doing some really good role playing, and it's inspiring me. It's making me want to bring some really good NPCs and like some good story to this, and it's making me smile. It's making me laugh. And other than that, like I'm really happy with how it's progressing, how you're moving around, how you're thinking about the strategy. As we're playing through. So yo, let's just keep it up, man. Like Diary of a Mad DM, I'm about to peace out and go watch some TV before I call it a night, and hopefully we get some D&D in tomorrow. If we don't do it tomorrow, hopefully we do it soon. But look, deuces McGuesses.